roll it.
Hey, this is Zach, owner and operator of Lisa's Passion for Popcorn here in Kaysville, ready to give you the first episode of the Pop Shop Show. And we're really excited about this project here at Lisa's, where we are going to talk popcorn, eat popcorn, and most importantly, show you recipes that you can use at home. And as you can see right here, I've got all these ingredients laid out. We're going to make popcorn ball candied apples as a fun going back to school treat that I think is going to be really great, maybe as a gift for an important teacher in your life. But before that, I did want to give you guys at home a little bit of background on me and on the popcorn shop in general, in case you've never stopped in and don't know our story. So like I said before, my name is Zach, and actually the original founder of this company is my mother, Lisa, hence Lisa's Passion for Popcorn. And she started in 1984, right next door to the Roy Theater, just up the road a little ways, you know, making it with a big wooden spoon out of that old like witch's cauldron, and it's come a long ways since then. And that's all thanks to my mom, who just recently retired in January. That being said, me on the other hand, I grew up in the popcorn shop. I spent a lot of time in the basement. There's crayon drawings on the walls still of the basement for me and my brothers, and then growing older I worked here kind of on and off. But truthfully told, I would never be here full time if it wasn't for my wonderful wife and partner in crime, Brooke. And so I want to introduce Brooke real quick. Brooke, say hi to everybody at home.
Hi.
Okay, introduce a little bit about yourself and how you got involved with the company and how you and I eventually decided to take it over from Lisa.
So I started working here about 3 years ago, right after we got married. And I was working with Lisa, and while we were working together, it kind of came out that she wanted to retire at some point, but she didn't necessarily want to close the doors, and she didn't quite know what to do. So I came up with the idea for Zach and I to buy the business from her, and it took a little convincing to get
Yes,
him
it
here
did.
full time, but he eventually came around, decided it was a good idea.
Yep, Brooke knows best.
All
so
my
that's
ideas are
important.
good. And we bought the company in January, and we're both here all day, every day, and we bring our baby to work, and it really is a family business.
Yeah, you might hear Jay crying in the background while we're filming. I promise we're not neglecting him. His Aunt Riley is taking care of him today. That's one of our team members here at Lisa's. Everybody gets to pitch in a little bit with babysitting, and it's kind of a madhouse, but we love it. Anyways, let's get right down into the recipe. I'm going to start over here and explain a couple of the things that we have. We've got Laffy Taffies here that we're going to use to make the leaf off of the little stem of this apple. Right here, we've got some pretzel sticks. I just dropped one. But here they are, and we're going to stick those in the top of the popcorn ball like a little apple stem. And you'll see how that works out in just a minute. But that's what those are for. Baking soda as well. We've got a packet of Kool-Aid here. You can really pick any flavor of Kool-Aid. It doesn't really matter. We chose cherry because it makes red apples. It doesn't really taste like apple, but it's delicious anyways. And that's why we picked the red one. Brooke, what have we got over here?
So we have sugar and corn syrup, and then popped popcorn. There's a couple different kinds of popcorn that you can use.
Fantastic. Yeah, Noah, why don't you zoom in here a little bit? Got two different kinds of seed that we use right here. This one in my right hand right here that I'm shaking here is like a butterfly pop is what it's often referred to. That's the regular kind of popcorn that you would get in a movie theater. This one on my left hand, on the other hand, is what we call caramel popped, and that's because we use it in our caramel popcorn, really any popcorn that you put any kind of coating on, whether it's just a candy coating, cheese, chocolate, whatever you want to do. You want to get this mushroom popped popcorn is also what it's commonly referred to as. The reason being, you can see it's rounder, it's a little bit tougher and thicker, and this butterfly pop popcorn right here, you can see little butterfly wings. Those are all going to pop right off when you start stirring it and mixing it in with your coating, whether it be caramel or chocolate, and you're going to end up with a lot of crumbs, not really the snack that you had in mind. So, once you get your popcorn selected and popped, it's time to get that candy coating mixed together. Brooke's going to show us how to do that.
One more note, before you put your popcorn in a mixing bowl and set it aside, make sure and spray it with some pan spray so that the coating doesn't stick. And then in a saucepan, you need to add 1 cup of sugar, 1 cup of your corn syrup, and your packet of Kool-Aid.
Get your spatula for you. Yep. And so in goes the Kool-Aid, and we're going to put that on the stove top to heat up once we get that mixed in. How long do we need to cook that?
It has to boil for 6 minutes, and you need to stir it the whole time. So
yeah, otherwise you get those burn spots in there.
yeah, you don't want it
And that's going to give it a discoloration. It's going to get a lot darker, and also it's not going to taste very good with those burn spots in there. You're going to taste that burnt, kind of bitter aftertaste. And you might want to make sure and avoid that.
So while this is boiling, I didn't want to make you guys watch me stir for 6 minutes, so I...
Sounds like riveting television.
Sure it is. So I made this yesterday. So you need to also have your leaves ready.
Yep, and that's what I'm going to do right now while Brooke takes care of that. This is your Laffy Taffy, and we chose green ones because that's the color the leaves are, and that's what we're trying to create here. And so I like to cut them into like little triangle pieces, and I'll show you a little bit better what I mean here. So I try to cut that diagonally, if you can see that. And then I want to smash it down. I want to make it a little bit thinner. I tried smashing it with the flat side of my knife last night and just made a mess. It sticks to the knife really bad, and you're never going to get it off of there. So don't do that. Just use the palm of your hand, and you smash it down there, and it actually is already starting to look somewhat like a leaf. And when we put it on that hot, fresh popcorn ball, it's actually going to melt into place, and that's just going to hold it really firm and tight there.
All right, so once your leaves are ready and your pot has boiled for 6 minutes, you need to add your baking soda. And this is going to change the texture of your coating. It's a half a teaspoon. You pull it off of the heat and you add it to the mixture. And it's going to kind of make it puff up kind of like a marshmallow. It's also going to lighten the color up a little bit.
Yeah, it helps give it that nice, thick, gooey texture that's going to hold that popcorn ball together. And that's the important thing, is that you don't want to mold it up and then just have it fall right back apart. And so once you get that mixture in there, you're actually just going to take your hands and kind of cup it around and make a popcorn ball. I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar with this process. But I do want to warn you, you need to be very careful. Put on some gloves, hopefully thicker, like rubber gloves, because that mixture that you made, that little candy coating, is like lava hot. And Brooke and I both burnt the crap out of our hands last night making these for the first time.
Mistakes.
Yes, and from being in the popcorn shop, we know that caramely candy coating texture, it's not just hot, but it sticks to your skin. And so that's just a nightmare. So be very careful with this stuff, because it can definitely burn you. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get the finished product for you so we can see what we did with the leaf, what we did with the stems, and you won't have to wait for that mixture to heat up on the stove for so long. So clear these out of the way real quick and we'll grab those popcorn balls. Alright, so here's the finished product. And Noah, why don't you come in here and zoom in a little bit, buddy? We've got these right in front of you. Some of them ended up a little bit rounder than others, but here you can see that popcorn ball right out there in front of you. We've got the pretzel stem coming right out the top, and this little Laffy Taffy leaf right there for fun. We're going to go ahead and dig into these a little bit and invite you to make these at home, because just as they are a lot of fun, oh, I'm sure they're delicious. So we're going to dive into these and let you know what we think. They're pretty good. And you know, I don't think you notice the cherry so much as that you just have that candy coating on there that feels a lot like a caramel popcorn. It is a little bit gooey. They were way gooier last night though, so you probably want to leave them to set up overnight, maybe in your refrigerator or something like that, because last night they were pulling my teeth right out, and so today they've been a lot better off. So yeah, definitely give it an extra day. Any other tips for everybody at home?
This batch did make 6 apples.
Yeah, from the 10 cups of popcorn,
10
right?
cups.
Right on.
Good to know.
There you go. So I hope you enjoyed the episode. Please give us some feedback in the comments section, and we'll get that second episode together as soon as we can. Just follow us on Facebook to get all the details, and we'll have episode 2 of the Pop Shop Show coming to you very soon.